If you are new with Thermomix, this video is for you. We are going to be today talking about the parts of the Thermomix and some cares that you need to do it and how I suggest how to start with this new machine. So let's go. This is the mixing bowl. You are going to lift like this, and as you can see, it has a shape. So if it's something that is not so heavy, or you are only to remove from the Thermomix, you are going to pull like this. And if it's something that it's a little heavier and you are going to transfer in a jar or in a container, remember only to grab like this. This lid, please, if you are cooking something, a lemonade, a rice, something like that, this one obviously it's going to be wet. So please, every time that you finish to use it, move like this. So if this one is this part is wet, you are not going to wet all or get dirty your surface. So remember to put in this direction and also like this. Here is the measuring cup. The measuring cup, as you can see, it has measures 50 ml and 100 ml. So this one is, if something asks you 4 grams, obviously the Thermomix can wait, but this one, it's only another option. Remember that when we are going to add carrots, chicken, potatoes, anything, it should be this size. So no bigger. Why? Because if you are going to chop something, we want to have everything in the same size. So please, no bigger than this hole. And finally, remember this one, it's very sharp, this measuring cup, so I think it's a great idea if you want to crack eggs, this is an option. So please use it. If you are going to cook rice, for example, I suggest this one. It's going to, here you are going to have the water, and here is normally when you are going to put the rice. So please, I recommend this lid, this fold, you are going to put it in the same direction as here. Why? Because I need that you practice, I suggest that you practice this one without any food, any ingredients, to get used to it. So the spatula has this small form, so this one is going to be properly like this. So please practice this one before you have your rice or anything, because this one is going to be hot and you need to practice in advance. If this lid is going to be like this and you are going to put the Thermomix here, it's going to be very, very difficult. So remember all the time to have the lid, it's here, this one is make a line, and then when it's hot, only like this. So practice please this one before. Also, the simmering basket will help you to strain the lemonade. For example, here is the lemonade. You will put like this, hold, and imagine that here you have the lemonade, so you can only transfer the lemonade to the jar, and here is going to be all the solid. You also going to use the simmering basket if you are cooking something and the temperatures goes up of 95, example a chicken, a rice, something like that, the machine, the recipe is going to request for it. So imagine here is the rice, you are going to cover with the lid, and on top of it you are going to put the simmered basket. When you are going to do it, when the machine requested in the recipe. Why? Because it's only going to cook, it's going to allow to cook with, but you have space to, with the steam go out. This is the splash guard, And we are going to use it, for example, in recipes like you want caramelized onions or to fry some veggies. Imagine that you are going to be on the stove and the stove is going to be with a lot of oil, these kind of things. Well, forget it about it. You are going to use less oil and you are going to use the Thermomix and this one. So, for example, you are going to have here your onion with a little of as oil, as I mentioned to you. You are going to use this lid as always, and then you are going to put this one in the same position as this. Normally, this kind of recipes is going to ask for high temperatures. What is the meaning of that? It's a mode that you are not going to allow to do it by yourself, but it's only a mode that you are going to use by following one recipe that already is in Cook-I-Do. Is the only option. And if it doesn't match the ingredients, for example, if the recipe calls for 500 grams of onions, you need to follow the instructions. Otherwise, as it's high temperatures, the Thermomix, for example, I choose and I'm going to do half. This is going to compare the real quantity with the recipe and it's going to say no more, and he opened the arms and that's all. So please, with high temperatures, normally with the splashing guard, it's going to be very precise. With the spatula, please use only the spatula that came with the Thermomix. As you can see, it has like a circle here, and this in the same circle it has a small line. So if you put it like this, it's going to avoid to get dirty here. So one more benefit about it. And in the other thing is that this one is designed, for example, if you are going to make ice cream, if you use this one, it's going to push all the ingredients and it doesn't have, it's not going to allow you to all the spatula came inside of the mixing bowl and broke the spatula. So please only use these ones that came with your Thermomix. This is the butterfly. We are going to use this one to make fluffy things like very foamy, like maybe a puree, maybe cake, these kind of things, egg whites. So we are going to put like this, and in the middle of the knives we are going to make a small gentle twist, and you are going, please practice one more time before use it, and you can do it like this. If the butterfly stay, it's fine. So you know how to do it and you are ready to use it for a recipe, but please do it in advance. It's not like a very strong click that you are going to see or to hear, or it's not like you are going to make a press. It's simply very gentle and you need to do it like this. And one important thing, with the butterfly, never, 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 please go up speed 4. If you are going to follow one recipe, in Cook-I-Do, everything is set up, you don't need to worry about it, but if you choose to do it by manual cooking, no more than 4, please. This one is the baroma. We are going to use to steam things, protein, vegetables. For example, here we have a soup, and in the moment, please think about it, what we can do in advance for the next day for dinner. So for example, here, as I mentioned to you, something like a soup, rice, potatoes. So we are going to use the lid as always, as we have been using. And here in this, in the baroma, we are going to add, for example, the broccolis or carrots, and in the top, in the tray, we are going to use some fish, chicken, apple, something like that, and then we are going to cover. Please only be sure that this one is closed properly, or we are going to put like this. Other thing, when you remove it from when it's finished, you please open. Now my machine is not in front of me, but normally it's going to be. So only open carefully, and from the lid it's going to be for the steam, because this one is going to be hot, out of your face to avoid any problem. And this one you can use like a tray, so something like that. We have been talking about steaming products, like steaming fish, steaming any veggie, how long we are going to take it. And if you have any question about it, we are going to use, please use this book that normally comes with the Thermomix, and at the back of this one go 353 is the steaming function. So here it's going to give you an idea how long it's going to take if you want to steam something. If you are cooking something here, for example rice, and you decided that you are going to steam something here on the top, please, you need to change one temperature. How and why? Because if you are following the instructions, normally it's going to tell you about 120 degrees. But if we want to cook something here, it's with steam. So the temperature is the same name as this one. Do you remember which one it is? It's in the top, in the middle. We are going to move this only big circle that we have and go until Baroma temperature. So every time we use the Baroma, it should be with the same temperature, the steam temperature, that is Baroma, please. Now we are going to see some parts and configuration from the equipment. Here, remember that you have 3 screens. Number 1 is when you can choose and look for one recipe. For example, here is the search icon, and you only type the recipe or the ingredients. And here you can scroll down some inspirations. If you remember that it's touch screen, so you only move here and it's going to have 3 circles: time, temperature, and speed. So the one that you touch and you move with this big circle is the one that is going to be activated. So this is the option. And the number 3 screen is modes. Here you are going to have a scale, chop, dough, turbo, pre-clean, and the other options. And here, for example, I choose chop, and here you will choose any chop. What kind of chop are you going to use? For example, I'm going to choose onions. How much are you going to use, and how thick do you want the onions? So here you have the scale options to Tara all the time, and it's going normally all the chops, it's going to be around 5.5. If you want to go out, you only press the home screen. What about music? Do you remember that the Thermomix has a small alarm or a music? So now we can change it. Come here. We are going to use the menu. Press the menu, and here you are going to have many options. Here, for example, my recipes, my week, recently cooked, settings, and we are going to select settings. Here you can change the language, the country, and here the account if you need it, and here are the sounds. And in this option you are going to manipulate and how long are going to be. So for me, normally I put it down and 15 seconds, and that's all. And you are back. Other thing that I want to show you, if you are going to transport the equipment, one more time in the menu, settings, and you are going to have transportation mode. Activate, and what it's going to do? Automatically it's going to close the Thermomix, and now you are safe to transport your Thermomix, and then you can turn it off. That's all what you need to do for transport. What about the different speeds that you have in the Thermomix? Remember that the third and the last option is the speed, and here you will have many options. Here the smaller, the more slow is spoon, and then you are going to 0.5. Now she's complaining because I don't have the lid, so I'm going to put it one more time, and here it's going to be a speed spoon 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 until 10. Remember, obviously this go for slower to faster. Here in the speed, it's very, very, very important. You will have a small like knives in one side after the zero, under the zero, and if you press, it's going to change for a green button. What is the meaning of that? We are going to change the direction of the knives. These ones, the knives are like a traditional knife, so one side is going to chop and the other no. So this is the default one, is the one that is going to chop, and if we change for the green one, it's going to go for another direction. When and how we are going to use it, the machine is going to be set up. You don't need to worry, but for example, it's automatically going to set up if you want to cook a pasta or maybe a chicken that you want to left the pieces, or mushrooms, this kind of thing. Or maybe the other side, you are going to use it if you want to shred a chicken. If you want to pre-clean your Thermomix, remember that you are going to add only 1 liter of water, some drops of liquid soap, and you can add a little of vinegar. You can make choose between which ones. For example, if it's not going to be something very dirty, for example, if you make a green juice in the morning and you only need to clean and rinse a little because you are going to cook oat, I suggest only use vinegar. But obviously if you cook a chicken or something, or caramelized onion, something like that, obviously it's going to be more dirty, so I suggest to add the soap and a little of the vinegar. And remember, it's going to be the option, the pre-clean is going to be in the third screen, and it's going to be there. After cleaning, if you want to clean properly, remember that you are going to open like this. You put the fingers here on the top, and with this part, the bottom of your hand, you are going to turn, and it's going to you are going to have the knife here. So only be careful because it's very, very sharp, and you don't want any problem with it. At the beginning, it's going to be very hard, as any electronic device that it's at the new, but then it's going to be very easy. So please practice that. Now it's new, it's dry, so to open properly. All the pieces you can put it on the dishwasher if you want. Normally I don't use it. Maybe I can use this small part in the dishwasher, but the bowl I think is too big, but you can also put it. It doesn't make any problem with it. And the only thing that you is obviously not suggest is put this one, but any other part go under the dishwasher, it's fine. The scale, it's very sensitive. This design, this TM6 is so precise. It's going to be gram by gram. You need to be very precise if you are going to make a bread, a cake. This part of the pastry, it's very sensitive. But if you go up 10 grams in because you are making a juice, these kind of things, don't stress. As I told you, it's very sensitive. So please, you need to handle the Thermomix properly. Don't push the Thermomix. Here you have the handle, and carry if you need it to swap to clean here. The bascula, it's here, so please only carry in this direction. In the third screen here are going to be the modes, and there is where you are going to find very useful modes, shortcuts like chop, rice, fermentation, the peelers, sous vide, the rice cooker, this one. And also you can move. If you are going to use the pre-clean and do you want, because if you don't want to use or to look for it and you want very easily, here you have the 3 dots and you add edit. You are going to move. For example, here I have the chop. I move with the screens, with the arrows, excuse me, and saved where you want. You are ready with the names, with the configuration. I'm going to show you how I suggest to start, which recipes you can start with. So here in the main menu, you are going to select my recipes, and in my recipes go for saved collections, and you will find the basic cookbook, and there is almost the same recipes that are here, so are very basic, but it's a good start. Other thing that I suggest if you type in the keyboard or your phone when you have connection with the Cook-I-Do, select demo, and there are going to show up the recipes that as consultant we use every time. So now you have all the basics of the Thermomix. Please start with a lemonade, start with a stroganoff, with a tinga, the very foamy, a fish in the same levels. Please go ahead and every day try to do very simple, even if it's a green juice, an oat, something like that. But please, you have an amazing equipment, and I hope your pictures also. Let me know if you have any question, and continue to use and enjoy your Thermomix. Thank you very much, and if you know someone that can help benefit with this video, please share. Thank you. Bye bye.